Welcome back. Let's talk about the product backlog. The product backlog lists items that contain and prioritize every little task required to include in the product. If you want to make any changes to your product, then the product backlog is the only source of requirements. The product owner is responsible for the product backlog's availability, content, priority, and order. A product backlog is never complete. You have to work on the product backlog list continually. The product backlog continuously evolves to recognize what your product requires to be perfect, helpful, and worth the competition. As the development team executes on the roadmap's bigger picture, the product backlog should communicate what comes next on the team's to-do list. What does a product backlog include? It is a tricky question because what belongs in a product backlog varies from team to team. However, in general, a product backlog includes some typical items like bug fixes, user stories, and other tasks like new features, enhancement to existing functionalities, technical debt, and infrastructure update. In most cases, the items are broken down into user stories. In a product backlog, the most important things are placed on the top. It helps to know the team what they should deliver first. These items are not just a to-do list. Each of these items is prioritized, estimated, and adds value for the customer. Who is the owner of the product backlog? The product owner is responsible for the product backlog. But the whole cross-functional team together works on the backlog to keep it ready. So, when it comes to maintaining and organizing the product backlog, the product owner holds complete accountability. While ordering the backlog, the product owner may get influenced by customer priority, difficulty in relative implementation, the urgency of receiving feedback, etc. An efficient product owner will look for the Scrum team, customers, and other stakeholders to optimize product delivery. What are the characteristics of product backlog? On a single product backlog, multiple teams can work together. Every product should have one product backlog. A product backlog can have a set of large to very large features. You can order the features based on technical and business value, strategic fitness, or risk management. Why is a product backlog important? The product backlog is a way to put all the product planning and brainstorming into action. While innovating a product, you'll come across multiple pieces of feedback from your customers or stakeholders. They will share different ideas to improve your products. But you can't use all the ideas because some of the ideas may not be valuable. So, it's essential to have a product backlog as it will help you differentiate between a good idea and the idea that would only waste your time. Here is some other importance of product backlog. A product backlog is prepared to plan the product roadmap. The product backlog helps to give estimates for each feature. You can change the product backlog as the priorities change. With the product backlog, you can think long-term about the product. It helps you to re-rank the product features according to values. Product backlog allows your team to decide what to prioritize and rank the item accordingly. You have to update the product backlog constantly. You will have loads of ideas in your backlog for improving your product. But most of the ideas will require refinement to make their way to development. So, refine, prioritize, and always keep the product updated. What is product backlog refinement? An effective product owner continuously refines the product backlog with the help of developers to make it more reliable. These backlog refinement sessions are also famous as backlog grooming sessions. The primary objective of these refinement sessions is to prepare the stories and tasks to discuss in the sprint planning. The backlog refinement process happens regularly and includes analysis and design discussion, splitting or decomposition of big stories or epics or features, removing irrelevant stories, creation of new stories following the newly discovered requirements, adding new features or epics, then setting estimates for features or epics, correction of estimate following the newly discovered need. Most teams reserve some time in every sprint to refine the product backlog for the upcoming 2 to 3 sprints, but few prefer to do it just before sprint planning. Scrum doesn't mandate when and how to do it, and you are free to choose what works well for you. Why is product backlog refinement critical for sprint planning? A well-defined product backlog makes sprint planning way more effortless. Because the to-do items are already well understood for the Scrum team and product owner has ordered backlog items based on value, risk, size, and dependency. Scrum teams can quickly pick up a sprint goal and forecast what they can accomplish in the current sprint. Thanks for spending your time learning the product backlog. See you soon.